The sisters are in. Welcome, Facebook Live, Instagram Live. I'm Marnie Nir, expert coach of Handel Group, and this is my sister Lauren Zander, co-founder and chairwoman of Handel Group. Welcome. Thank you for sending your questions in. If we get to yours, you will get $50 off of a private coaching session, so don't forget that. Be on the lookout for an email from us.
Send a question now.
And send one now, and you also get $50 off of a private coaching session. So please do. We do love fresh things off right now. Okay? Today's topic, Lauren, isn't like a newish one. It's like everything you wanted to know about coaching. It turns out a lot of people have a lot of questions about life coaching.
All right, fine.
All right, so
sure. I'm a good person to ask.
I thought so. And so we'll do this.
I got this.
All right. Lauren and Marnie, how would you define the term life coach?
Well, first of all, please know that I have no idea what other people are doing. Like, do you study other life coaching? Could you name another brand? Could you name another method? Could you name anything? No.
Really.
Okay, so I've never studied, never looked, and so it's not fair to go what I'm about to tell you is what everyone says, but it's certainly what I have to say. So a coach is someone who literally is going to make you do things, right? You have a goal, you have a vision, you have a dream. You want to get to the Olympics if it was a sports analogy, right? You want to get to the Olympics, you hire me to help you get to that, right? And I'm an expert at getting people to get their dreams to come true. And as a coach, what I'm doing is I'm walking you through the process I have figured out over 20 years that utterly works in getting people to have an insanely fulfilling life in all 12 areas. And so basically that's it. And the main thing we teach in, Handel Group is personal integrity, which is your ability to keep a promise to yourself, not just everybody else on planet Earth, but to yourself. And then your dreams are your heart. And so getting you to be true to yourself and those dreams by taking all the right actions that you wish you were taking and you might not be taking, and you have no idea why you're not taking them. We know. We really do.
We do.
And we will help you know so soon it'll be frightening.
Yeah. It's really true. I don't think I have anything to add to that.
Good.
The only thing I'll add.
She always does.
Well, might as well. We got time to kill us too. Most people walk around like personal integrity is something they have, that they really are. And if you go keep a promise to yourself, and people go sure, I can. They think they do, and we really don't. Right? We wouldn't fuck it up with our kids. Most of the time, we wouldn't leave a friend at a movie and text them and call them. We really do take care of others above ourselves all the time. So, yeah, it's just what Lauren said. I didn't really add that much. There, ditto.
She's just pointing out, she's underlining how much we overserve the world at large outside and don't overserve what matters most to us.
Right.
And so our coaches will make you figure out what you most want and make you deal with having that. That doesn't mean everybody else will get screwed at all, but the only person we're unscrewing is you.
Yeah. I mean, we walk around wanting self-esteem and confidence and wondering where it comes from, right? And it really comes from being able to trust yourself and know that what you say actually happens. It's fairly simple. You just don't do it. All right, cool. I just graduated college with a psychology degree. I've always been interested in becoming a life or career coach, but what do you guys actually do all day? What's a day in the life of a coach?
Aww. We have different lives. I have no idea what her answer is, but I'll tell you mine. And yes, we work together. So I do about 5 or 6 hours, 5 or 6 clients at the most a day. And then if you go tell me about your clients, they're all walks of life. There's a lot of CEOs because I'm having a ball coaching CEOs, but then I really do have people I've had for 15 years. I have mommies who want to figure out how to build a business. I have all kinds of humans from all over the place, but I'm in very different storylines all day long. I work for 2.5 hours, and then I take a half-hour break, and 2.5 hours and a half-hour break. And then I also run the company a bit,
Yes, she does.
but it's not very much time at all.
Yeah, and we have a bunch of coaches that do specialize in different things, lead a lot of workshops. There's Lori Gerber, in which if you've watched us, you've seen her, been there, or have been, been lucky to. Leads a lot of live events.
She loves them.
She does.
Yeah, so especially in our coaching company, whatever you're in love with doing, you get to do. We have a virtual company. We've never had offices. Coronavirus works fine with us in that way.
We're home already.
We're home. So depending on what you love to do, what you would be doing is that all day long for hours and hours and hours once you build your clientele.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, cool.
There you go. All right. How do I know if I need a life coach? I feel pretty happy overall. I've heard such good things about coaching. I just don't know if it's for me. Are there good qualities of a life coaching client?
Yeah, you have to need it. Until you go, I want to break through something. I want something else to be possible, right? You don't need a coach. If you're really happy and you know it, clap your hands, right? You don't have to fix something, right? Boredom, I'm bored. I know I could be doing more. Some level of dissatisfaction. You don't have to be unhappy. If you are unhappy in an area of your life, definitely get a coach. If you're bored or is this it? I could do so much more. That would be a good reason. But if you're things are great, but I hear great things, not the time. It's just not.
Yeah.
You don't need to shake it up if you're happy. You need to wait till you want to shake it up because you're bored, or really go, I could do better in my whole life in this area, whatever area.
Yeah. You could also, online we have a current reality quiz, which is a fun one to kind of go see where you fall in your life, in different areas of your life. So it has a bunch of fun questions. So it's our own little version of a Cosmo quiz.
And you'd also be ideal for buying Inner You, which is you're not paying a lot of money to get the whole method kind of spoken to you, and even the assignments, and you can audit the whole thing and listen and date the coach, hear what we're talking about without getting a coach would be extra ideal for you, So that could also work, just so you're learning. And then you'll take what you want and you don't need it, would also be ideal.
Yeah, and the first assignment you get in Inner You or any sort of private coaching with us is the 12 areas of life, where you're writing dreams in all 12 areas and rating yourself, right? So 1 to 10, 10 is you're freaking happy, right? And 1 is you're in pain. So if you're an 8 or above in every area of your life, and there's 12 of them, and I promise you some you haven't even thought about, right? That gives you a good gauge of where you need work.
And also this is not personal to you, but this explains why we are not a great fit for you maybe, is the way we teach people to do it is when you get to 8s in all areas of your life, 8 or 9s, I literally call your 8 a 1. And now invent the next 8. So we're overachievers, junkies, right? Where we're ripping the most out of life, which then means how do you make yourself twice as happy as you even think you are now? How do you make your sex twice as hot as it is right now? But I don't need to make someone feel that way. You're really a type who wants it to be that way.
All right, cool. Lauren, I heard you trained a bunch of coaches to teach your method. How did you come up with a curriculum? How did you train them? Is it hard to be a life coach for you?
Easiest thing I've ever done. I could never stop. I could do this for life after life. I have no idea what I've been, this is not a problem for me and ever. I love it. And I never stop coming up with new method, to tell you the truth. So I'm always inventing new things. Which is why it was so easy to do all the different interviews and lay them all out. And I'm also very an engineer mind, right? So I like things in steps because I like someone to actually follow instructions, even though I don't read instructions on facts. I'm suck at that. But I do like it, right? And so I would also say that one of my dreams was to be able to teach this, can I get it in a classroom? And then I got to work at least like 10, 12, 15 years ago at MIT for years. We're still there, but I got to be there, and there was nothing better than having to lay it out for a brilliant engineering mind, like every step. And so the whole method got designed when I was 15 years ago, taking it out of kind of my head and making it into classroom material. And I was dying to do that. And then I went and taught at Stanford Business School for a couple, like 5 years, and also had to do it for that brain and that type, which was also forced me to put it into step-by-step approach, and then really rocking assignments. And so I put myself in a position where I had no choice but to develop curriculum, because I knew I wanted to live and die and be able to teach other people and not need to be here, and leave something behind. Good question.
It is. They also want to know if it's hard to become a life coach for the company. Great.
For our company, it is it's really not hard to be, it's a lot of work, right? So all of our coaches go through the method and have to get every area of their life to above an 8, right? Like, and people are telling the truth and dealing with everything. So the coach themselves has to actually be able to do it all on themselves first, and then they practice for 6 months on students and really like love to talk the talk and share their stories, and that. So it's not actually hard, it's comprehensive. And you better like keeping promises, paying consequences, telling on yourself, making a lie list and sharing it with everyone does not humiliate you, right? This would not be ideal for an introvert, right? Right? So if you love to help people and you love to use your life as an example, and you like getting an A and you like winning at things, competitive type, like I love being competitive to get my clients happy in 3 sessions, right? Like you love that, then this is an ideal place for you.
Yes.
But most people should hear that that's not ideal.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I like to tell all my lives. I like to tell all my stories. I like to use my life as an example. I like to be competitive about making results happen in another person's life, including my own. Not popular, but all of our coaches have this in spades.
It's true. There's nothing we give you that we haven't done.
Yeah.
Alrighty then. How long does it take to see results from life coaching? Days, weeks, years?
Oh, my story is from just doing the homework before you even end up on a session. If you like really paid your money, do your whole homework, and like come into that first session, you won't be the same from the get-go. Even if you do our online course and you do the homework and you follow it, you will not, it's as long as it takes you to get through the goddamn homework and the material. So you will never be the same again if you actually follow the instructions.
It's true.
So that literally means within 2 months. Can you handle 8 weeks? Right? And then with my coaching clients, I go, your life will you won't even recognize your life in 4 months. Like, you don't even remember who you used to be. Right? So every session pretty much rocks people's world. If you're doing your part of the work, because mostly we're making you figure it out on the court for real and doing things that are out of your comfort zone in all ways, right? And so that just feels so enlivening and insightful, and we make changes happen like that.
It's true. One of my favorite stories is I had one session, and just the man writing his bio and us reading it through and kind of giggling at his bio changed his entire life. He was like a professor, so really MITer, right? But bio. One session.
When you have the insight about why you pick the things you tell versus everything else you could have told, right? That it's like you don't even get that until someone helps you see what you're not seeing about yourself. The minute you hear it, when something rings true, it's true forever. And so the changes we're making are things that ring true forever, and then you haven't heard them after you've made yourself that vulnerable. So it requires the dance of that much vulnerability and then someone calling it out, and then it goes boom, right? And so those insights are what we're doing the entire 1 session, 2 sessions, like all the way through. And in Inner You where you can just do it at home.
Yeah.
And get on master classes, everything, once you're in, everything's free.
Yeah, and why there's so many assignments and they're written assignments is truly so you can never unhear it because you incriminated yourself in paper, and we just point it out, or even in interview, you'll see it. That man's bio, it was all about his father. He had like this much on him. It was awesome.
Right. You won't know it until you do it.
It's true.
But it really works.
It's true. So, days, weeks, months, yes. I follow you guys on Instagram, and I so wish I could afford to do coaching with you, but I'm broke. Anyway, I can start to coach myself. Any tips?
This is Inner You. So Inner You, what's our coupon? Are we giving a coupon?
We are. It's one of the 24 hours, really fun. Crazy
so we're
Eddie
giving a no one remembers Crazy Eddie except
people
our age, 50, right? It was like the worst, most annoying commercial.
Yeah, like
and I have prided myself in building this company where I am not like discounting any, like I am like buy in the next 24 hours, right? Except for Inner You, right? Like it took me 20 years to make one product that I would be happy to discount to get people who can't afford to do coaching to be able to do it for life. Okay, so you're going to get a coupon code for 24 hours to get this whole program, which is 11 sessions, right, for real. 11 sessions and all the homework and access to classes all the time for, what is it going to be, $325?
Right. And a free private coaching session.
Just so you know,
Just
we
in case.
even let you do payment plan, right? You give your credit card. We even let you do a payment plan because we designed this to actually be affordable to the world, where our executive coaching and our life coaching is, the fanciest shit in the world.
It's true. So yes.
Okay.
We'll give you the coupon code. It's Sisters are in 325, just in case I forget.
And you can set up whatever payment plan you want. They're like $75 a month. Speak to Sally. She'll be cool.
Yes. And there's a variety now of interviews. So there's an interview student. So if you're 17, 18 and up, you should do that one. There's interview love. If you're looking for love or trying to fix it or fire your current, interview love rocks. And then there's interview life, which just is the entire main method. Okay? Crazy Eddie, Cinderella, we got it. All right. What's your opinion on why life coaching gets a bad rap or has a bad reputation? Before I got into coaching myself, I always thought it was all a little woo-woo.
It is. Right? It's like a bunch of, like anyone can hang their shingle out and go, I'm a life coach. Really? What gives you the right to be a life coach? I want to be. Right? Like, I read 5 books. Right? It's not regulated. It isn't like getting a doctor. Right? And we already know all doctors are not created equal, but they all pass their boards. Right? So, what does it take to become a life coach? A weekend course. Right? The answer isn't very good.
Right.
And the industry isn't regulated, right? And that's basically means that anyone can become a life coach and say they are one, in which case it dilutes the entire world of life coaching, right? So I'm a financial manager. Really? How much money's in the bank? Right? It's like anyone could say they're a financial advisor, right? So it's one of those areas where you better check who told you that, what they did, how much success they've had. And yeah, there's a lot of, charlatans. There are. So buyer beware. And there you go. It's true. It's fair. I haven't been I cannot tell you how many people have tried to talk me out of calling myself a life coach. Can't you pick some other name? And I'm like, it's what I'm doing. I can't help the hacks. I can't help everyone who doesn't do it well. It's the right brand. It's what I'm doing. Just because everything else might be lame doesn't mean I'm not a life coach. So there you go.
It's true.
We actually agree.
Yes. Do your research. Just do your research. Yeah. All right. Is that one more question or one more minute? One more question. All right, we'll do this. I'm obsessed with the Handel method, and I've tried to start infusing it into my parenting, hoping it will rub off on my kids. However, they don't seem to like it. They feel like I'm acting like their therapist. Help.
The best way to get it into your kids is to get it into yourself 100%. What does that mean? You keep promises. You go to the gym. You're doing things you want. You're sharing about it. You're excited about it. You break a promise, you pay them the $20, right? Like, so you don't try and do it on your kids. You just share about yourself and what you're learning. And the happier and happier you get, and the more honest you get, and the more telling your own stories. I interviewed my mother. I did this. I did. You share yourself. Don't try and fix that. Don't, right? Wait, don't. Stop that. It will never work. You're like, Lauren, do you coach your kids? No. Do they have promises with you? No. Right? Not unless they want one, because they need one. And I'll ask, do you want one? Right? But I'm not forcing it on them. And you know, my daughter works pretty much 7 days a week. My son's getting straight A's, and Daisy's too young to know what's going on. She's 11, right? So we'll see what happens with her, right? But like they're growing up great and really into themselves and what they care about, which is all I really care about. Versus I want them to be good or some kind of something, right? So I leave them alone to be true to themselves. And I keep whatever rules we have in the house. Those are not that many, but we have them. And that's it. And then I share my life.
Yeah, the happier you are, the more you keep.
She's more controlling.
We have promise.
She has this one would you'll like this one better. Maybe I should. That was my very happy free flying answer.
Do I have a bunch? I mean, I guess I run a tighter ship, and my son gets coached by Lauren. And, like, I try to coach.
But he wanted to
completely.
They figure it out on their own.
Yes. The happier I am, nicer I am dealing with my own bitch and control freak, the more interested they are about coaching. They actually would want their own promises. And I listen to Lauren's coaching. I bribe them for happy. I make them go do bold, because turns out I gave birth to me. So all is fine out there. And yeah, the more work I do on myself, the more it just kind of leaks out.
And even according to epigenetics, what you're doing right now and how you're changing right now is going into them. It isn't, and I know that's woo-woo, but it's not. It's actually science. Go read about it. Don't quote me. Okay, epigenetics. But really, there is this whole thing like you're connected, and the way you're evolving your genes, your children are naturally going to get it much faster. So the more you deal with yourself, the more they will too. The more you avoid things about yourself,
the more they have to work it out.
They're the, that's who you pass the baton to, so they're the ones that will be picking up that slack. But that's not even a problem either. They came to fulfill on better than you, being better than, like evolving above you, which is fantastic. So go team go.
Yes. All right, cool. On that note, we are done. Thank you for tuning in. Remember, go check out Interview. It's if you're this curious about coaching, truly it's everything.
And we are looking for coaches, right? If you're sitting there going, I wish I could work for that company, we're like, we wish you would try. Okay, come find us. Right? There's like somewhere.
HG University, you will see the video, you will watch it, we will try to scare you away from it, and if it still turns you on, oh my God, come.
And it's the best, right? We're having the best time. You'll have plenty of clients, you will make good money, and you will be part of a team that actually thinks we're changing the world.
That's true. All right, cool. Sisters are in 3, 2, 5. Thank you. Till the next time.